I received a message yesterday that just blessed me tremendously in the time that I needed it. And every so often, I'll get people that will remind me of things that I've said or done that I don't recall immediately many years ago that stuck with them. And it's not me. It blesses me because most of those times, if not all of those times, it was something wise that comes directly from God. And this guy contacts me. I haven't talked to him in at least 10 years. And he says, "Hey, I'm trying to get back into shape, and your advice comes back to me." I'm like, okay. And this was back when it was easy for me to push like 275, 300 on a bench and still was in good shape for squats. And not that I'm not healthy now, but not football shape, so to speak. And he said, our conversation went something like this. Him asking me, "How do you get in shape like that?" And I say, "You just work out, even when you don't want to." And it comes back to me in a time where things are tough, where there's a lot of things I don't want to do. I thought I would never have to study again, and I did pretty good at making sure that was my reality for a while. But now I'm finding myself having to do things that aren't fun. I just had a milestone yesterday with something that was accomplished, and now I have the option of taking a break or going on to the next one. And I prayed about it, and I just heard go on. And it reminds me of, even when you don't feel like doing it, do it. It's the good thing. It's the right thing. It's discipline. It's good for you. Eventually, it'll pay off. Eventually, you get your rest, or you learn how to catch your breath in between sets. I think that's the biggest point there when it comes to life. Like, learn how to catch your breath in between sets. The work is always going to be there, but if we desire too much for comfort, if we desire too much for rest, because it's hard, don't get me wrong, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. You will get some rest, but if we are desiring rest more than we are desiring completing the mission, for my food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish the work, the scripture says. If we're desiring rest and peace more than we are desiring to finish the mission, then we're going to easily drop the thing that God's called us to, the good thing, the hard thing. That good thing, that hard thing produces patience, and there's fruit in it. And he's actually moving us toward where we have to be, where he wants us to be, because he's a good father. He knows what he has for us, but there is an alignment of his permissive will and his perfect will along with our actions. And we have to go toward that. So this is also me receiving that message, speaking to myself, hearing it again. God brought it back to me, even though it's hard, even though you're tired and you would like to take a rest. Keep going. Learn to catch your breath in between the sets. As a matter of fact, even more so than catching my breath between the sets, my rest is abs. Believe that or not. I might hit bench, and in between, here's some abs. Okay, now let's do try, and I'm going to do abs in between. I've learned to catch my breath even while I'm working. So while you're going through the season, the Lord said he'll be with us. He'll be with you. Don't focus so much on the rest, the desire for comfort from the problem. Because the more that we focus on the problem, the bigger we make it than the God that we serve. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think. And remember, he's outside of time. So everything that looks like a big problem to us, God's just looking at us like, are you going to keep following? Are you going to keep worshiping? Are you going to keep consecrating yourself? Are you going to separate yourself from people and tasks that don't honor me to focus on the thing that I've called you to do and complete it? Because once you complete it, here comes the blessing, but here comes another task. Because our rest is supposed to be heaven, our real rest. Not that we can't catch our breath, but our real rest doesn't come until it's all done and over. So how do you get in shape like that? You work out even when you don't want to. How do you complete the mission? You do it in the steps that he called you to do, even when you don't want to. If you fall, he'll pick you up, as long as your desire is not to stay down. Keep falling forward and enjoy the journey.